This is UFC fighter Tim Kennedy, and I wanted to wish Verbal Tap congratulations on the 50th podcast.
Is the moment UFC fans around the world have been waiting for.
Starting the show.
It's time!
It's time for Verbal Tap episode 50. Rafa Esparza, how are you doing this evening?
I am doing very well. I'm excited that we are now doing our 50th podcast. Do you understand what that means?
It means if this were years, we'd be a half century old.
That is correct. I feel it in doing that many of these, but no, that's not true. I actually love this. This is great. And we get to celebrate
50.
that today, and we've got a whole bunch of things to celebrate it with, right?
Yes. Number one, Carlos Condit is on the show. Carlos Condit.
Oh
Hold on. Okay, I'm back.
Yeah,
He's
okay.
on the
Who
show
got
tonight.
you Carlos Condit to be on the show?
You did. It was a big, and you gave me 1 minute during the interview. We slotted out 1 minute so I could just go fan crazy. Super helpful. Appreciated. Of course, we have, because, you know, where else do you go for Ultimate Fighter coverage? We have the men's tough champ of season 18, Chris Holdsworth. We also have the ladies tough champ of season 18, Julianna, the Venezuelan vixen.
Sweet.
2 fighters, 2 champs, 1 show. Carlos Condit, who's amazing, pretty much
Keep
in every
going.
way, and should be the champ.
Don't scare him
multiple
away.
fights. Okay, I'm just saying.
We've just made
Lots
friends.
of funny decisions been passed his direction, and we get to close it out with our favorite, the one, the only, Bubba McDaniel, who
Yay!
never disappoints.
Never.
We're also doing something very special throughout this show, and Raph, this is really marks the first time you and I, outside of the podcast, have come together to do a project.
Yes.
A little voicemails that have been left by guests from this first 50 shows. So we had several guests call in. We're going to call them by name at the end of the show, but you will get to hear them wishing us a happy 50th or mocking us or both. So you will hear those sprinkled throughout the show. Does that about cover it on what's going on tonight?
I think so. And let's keep everything moving. Let's get straight to the show.
Holdsworth is up. But first, voicemails.
Hey, this is Gentleman Josh Hill, and I just want to say congratulations to Verbal Tap on their 50th podcast. Hey, it's Adam Sella here. Just wanted to call and congratulate Verbal Tap for the 50th podcast. Now that I sit and think about it, saying congratulations for the 50th podcast is it's sort of like saying congratulations on making a JV roller hockey team cheerleading squad in your high school. Kind of pathetic, but whatever floats your guys' boat and makes you guys happy. Seriously, congratulations. Hopefully there'll be another 50 more, and then you guys have me on. So hope to hear from you soon. Congrats, guys. See you.
This is Joe Schilling. Just wanted to give Verbal Tap congratulations. 50 episodes and still going. Congratulations, guys.
Verbal Tap fans, we have on back, and now we know our predictions were correct. Chris Holdsworth, winner of the Ultimate Fighter Season 18. How are you doing this evening, Chris?
I'm doing good, guys. At the airport, I stayed in Vegas an extra night. Wanted to see some friends and I had some family in town. So at the airport now, getting ready to head back to Sacramento. Can't wait to get back home.
I want to say this is true commitment at its finest. Let's start with that you were actually talking to us while at the airport. And it's also very multitasking. Now, when you say that you stayed an extra night, does that mean you were celebrating? If so, how so?
No, I didn't celebrate too much. I did celebrate yesterday. They got this donut place called Pink Box.
Yes.
It's like some of the best donuts I've ever had. And me and my buddy used to go all the time. So I told him, like, dude, I was like fantasizing about him like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, Pink Box, did I come to Vegas? So I had to come see one of my good friends and hang out. And so we did. He just dropped me off.
That's so interesting that you decided to go all Cody Bollinger, a.k.a. Anthony Gutierrez, on us and decided to be fat. But jokes aside,
Hey, man,
he waited till after.
I deserve it, bro. I deserve it.
I know.
I missed Thanksgiving. I couldn't eat.
I know, dude.
Ugh.
That's the worst. How
That is
pissed
the worst.
we're scheduling the Ultimate Fighter finale after Thanksgiving. Like, they couldn't have waited maybe a week after.
I know, that's what I'm saying. But it was all worth it, man. It was worth the sacrifice. Yeah, I guarantee you, I'm gonna have a couple Thanksgiving dinners the next couple days.
Okay, I have a very serious question, Chris. I've never talked to someone directly after winning the Ultimate Fighter. Are you wearing the belt right now?
The belt?
They gave you like some sort of Ultimate Fighter trophy.
No.
Right?
They give you the crystal. Did you make that into a belt? Because I would.
Oh, no, dude. That thing's like 20, 30 pounds. And I don't think you can wear it on your belt. It's like this big cylinder glass thing.
Okay,
you have it with you, though, right? Like,
yeah.
What?
You have it with you right now, right?
No, I actually had the guy I lived with was here. He drove out here, and it was a great idea because I had a bunch of crap that he took back with him back home that I couldn't fit with me.
Well, I mean, I was about to say, I hope you didn't check that in because I'm pretty sure you wouldn't end up back with it in Sacramento.
Yeah, man, it was all my stuff. We had a couple of posters and stuff that I couldn't fit, so it was cool that he was able to drive back and carry all that stuff because I would have had to lug that thing around in my backpack. So it would have been...
Have you let anybody hold it? Like,
yeah. Afterwards.
and what was her name? That's just me knowing, hey, I know how black belts party. I've seen him do it before. It's especially after winning the tournament. How crazy have the last 24 hours been for you now?
Man, it's actually been pretty crazy. The most overwhelming thing was just all my family and everyone was out here. I didn't see like a lot of friends came and visited and came to support. I had family from Colorado, from Minnesota. People that came that I don't even know from Minnesota. And it was just a crazy experience just to see everyone afterwards and just see the support everyone was giving me. It was pretty cool.
now, can you tell us what were some of the best things that people told you? Because I'm sure you heard a million compliments, a million different things. Like, what are some of the most memorable ones? If you had to pick maybe just three.
That I'm their favorite fighter. That's always cool to hear. Just that my mom telling me that she's very proud of me. And my whole family just telling me, how proud they are just to, witness me do that and live my dreams and stuff like that. So.
And the person that sold you the donuts, did they have anything inspiring to say?
I know she's giving her bad influences on me, so that wasn't a good one.
They should. I feel like you could get a donut named after you.
The Holdsworth.
After winning. The Holdsworth, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I really like donuts.
That's why we do interviews like this. We get the hard-hitting questions.
So were you also prepared for the media cycle after? Like, after you win, I'm sure it's a huge rush, but then they bring you into press row, and then you're all of a sudden doing a press conference. What's going through your mind when that happens?
Yeah, that was pretty crazy, dude. That's all I can really say is just everything's surreal. Seeing all that stuff happen, like just being a fan of the sport and stuff. Just to be able to go through all that, on pretty much my first UFC fight on the stage was, I think, just a great learning experience for me just to kind of go through all that and witness it. and do it. So it's just going to be that much better each time I get out there and, fight. So it was a great experience.
So I'm hoping we're one of the first podcasts to ask you, but what's next for you now? I guess we know which organization you'll be fighting for.
Yeah, it's like that was funny. I was laughing with my friend about that, and I know it's I don't know what's next. I'm just I'm healthy. I a little sore from the fight, but besides that, it's up to the UFC. I'm not calling anybody out yet or whatnot, but they asked me,
Did you want us to start doing that for you? Because we're more than happy to start calling out people on your behalf.
Raph also does a good impression of you, as you're aware, so we could even call them and they would think it was you, which
We've
I think
had
would really
some
happen.
of the other fighters from this season start to tell me that they really think my impression of you is pretty solid. So, number one, thanks for keeping me in business, because that's going to really skyrocket now that we got an Ultimate Fighter winner I can impersonate. Two, I may try and use that when I'm in Vegas. So if you hear somebody was impersonating you, odds on favorite, it's me.
All right, well, let's hear I don't even want to hear it.
I mean, maybe you could just thank Verbal Tap real quick. Obviously, we were instrumental in your victory, Chris. I feel like we called it, though we did predict us, and it sounds like everyone else. We actually talked to a lot of people from the jiu-jitsu world as well, Chris, that were cheering you on. What's it mean to win via submission the way you did?
It means a lot, just because that's my style. That's my background. The whole jiu-jitsu, and I really respect just the Gracie family. What they did and brought this martial art all the way down from Brazil and all that jazz. So it's cool that people kind of just look at me, have a following in the MMA community, but I also have a following in the jiu-jitsu community. That's where I'm originally from, and that's where those are my roots. So it's pretty cool.
And I do have to say, I'm all for spreading the wealth, but the fact that you didn't get submission of the season is suspect, wouldn't you say?
Oh, man, I'm so glad you brought that up, because I said the same thing. I didn't know, and I asked Isabel, the head of PR, right before I was going to do some post-fight thing. I was like, hey, when are you guys going to start voting for the best fight of the season? She's like, oh, I just got the results. And I was like, what? When did you guys vote? She's like, it went on during tonight, the show. So I asked her, she's like, here they are, they're all girls. And I was like, are you kidding me? I was upset about that.
Because, it's fine. Like, I guess, like I said, you want to get some people some money. That's perfectly fine. But that you had the climbing submission that Dana White got to say, I've never fucking seen anything like that before, but let's give an armbar a fucking $25,000 bonus.
You know who really gave it the bump beforehand was Chael and Bisping were on the Fox Live coverage, and they were like, I think it was the armbar. And it almost felt like you got shafted just because you had 3 on the board.
Yeah, I was kind of upset about it, but I guess submission of the night, 50 G's is better than 25.
That's the attitude. There we go. I mean, but I just want to say, I think it's a little unfair that just because you're so good at jiu-jitsu, it's just expected, and so you can't get money for it. So you're just like, what a double-edged sword you have.
Yeah, that extra 25 would have helped, but I'm just happy I got something, and people recognize that I do have good jiu-jitsu out there.
And I do have to ask, did you get a second to talk with Davey after the fight or anything like that?
Yeah, I actually did. He came to our locker room and we talked, and we actually ran into each other at breakfast the next morning, and he got to meet my mom and some of my family. So I really respect him, dude. He's a cool dude, and I wish him the best of luck.
Yeah, I mean, that was the hard part for us here, is you guys had both been on the podcast. We both liked you guys, and we were hoping for an exciting fight. And I mean, you can't ask for a better submission finish, but you guys were definitely both proving what you were great at in that fight. And, compliments to both of you guys for that great exhibition, especially from all of us who got to watch it.
Did you guys enjoy the fight?
Yeah, dude.
Well, we're already suckers if somebody starts working some good submission
Oh,
games.
yeah.
So you had pretty much solidified our interest in the fight when you just showed again, like when you are doing jiu-jitsu in the cage, you're on a very different level, and that's what happens when a sort of young modern jiu-jitsu black belt gets in the cage against these guys that are still training jiu-jitsu techniques that are a little outdated. So we always enjoy watching you fight just because you get that modern jiu-jitsu style that's
And
it's terrifying.
If you'd like to know what the reaction was like at San Manuel Casino, where I was watching the fight, I'm watching with two total strangers. They look at you like working the submission, and they looked at me and they go, "Yeah, I don't think he's got it." And I was like, "Give him a second. This is going to end very badly because he's in. Yep. Oh, and the fight's over. Yeah, that's why you don't say, I don't think he's got it to a black belt when they've got the back.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Pretty much as soon as you took his back, it was like, uh-oh. That's not good.
Yeah.
Which I didn't get to watch the fights from. I like watching the fights from the corner because that's normally the time when you can really tell how a fighter's doing based on how their corner is reacting. And I feel like his corner, you can see them just being like, no, oh God. And they kind of plateaued. What was this will be the last question because we know you are in an airport and have to travel. What was your favorite part about the UFC extravaganza?
I would say, of course, just me getting my hand raised and, hearing Dana say I'm the next Ultimate Fighter. That was definitely the highlight. And everything on top of that was just icing on the cake. Seeing the family is always good. And just seeing, my mom expression, just seeing her son do well. That's a big inspiration for me as well.
That's fantastic. Verbal Tap fans, this has been Chris Holdsworth, winner of the Ultimate Fighter Season 18, black belt in jiu-jitsu, and now friend of the podcast. We really appreciate you taking a few minutes post-victory to talk to us, Chris.
Yeah, man. Thank you, guys.
And now, more voicemail.
Hey, what's up, Rebel Tap Podcast? It's Jimmy Clement from the Ultimate Fighter Season 17. Just congratulating you guys on 50 podcasts and looking forward to hearing some verbal beatdowns. Future.
This is Ernesto Torres from Resulta Verde. Just want to congratulate Kevin and Raf at the Verbal Tap MMA podcast for reaching 50 episodes. I guess it's true what they say. Sometimes good things do happen to bad people. Take care, guys. Keep up the good work.
Oh, yeah. Hey, this is Zombie Mike. Congratulations on your 50th podcast coming up, guys. Talk to you later.
That was Ultimate Fighter Season 18 men's champ Chris Holdsworth. What did you think, Raph?
Always funny, always good, and I'm so glad that he's okay with me doing an impression of him.
I know. You should be glad.
It got a little testy for a second.
You should be glad.
I was very happy that for a split second he was just about to start saying, "Let me hear it," and then he was just like, "I don't really give a shit. I won the Ultimate Fighter."
I was wanting it to happen so badly, just because I'm always looking for opportunities for a black belt to feel the urge to choke you.
That's fine.
Hey, speaking of people that'll have the urge to choke someone that hosts this podcast, you want to bring on Carlos Condit?
Let's do that. Let's bring on Carlos, Natural Born Killer Condit.
Natural Born Killer. Verbal Tap fight fans, this is a very special 50th episode treat, obviously for me, if you've been listening to the show. We have the Natural Born Killer, Carlos Condit, on the line to talk to us a little bit about his December 14th fight. How you doing this evening, Carlos?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
We are good. We're elated you're talking to us. How are things approaching? How are you doing health-wise, physically? How's everything looking for the fight?
Good. Really good, man. You know, every camp there's, you know, little stuff you got to work around, but this camp has been pretty good.
Now, when officially does your fight week start?
Well, I guess next week. I get out to Sacramento next Tuesday, and so yeah, I guess that's officially fight week.
Fair enough. The thing that we're concerned about is when that happens, they have those UFC behind the scenes things. They have one for you coming up with that. You know, how does that prolong the fight week for you? Like, how does that get into your head? Like, how does that work for you?
You know what, man? It's just kind of part of the process. It's not the funnest thing to do all the time, especially, you know, when you're cutting weight or you're, you know, trying to focus on your training camp. But it's part of selling the fight, and, you know, ultimately this is a business, and you know, we don't make money if nobody watches the fight. So, you know, you got to do what you got to do.
Very cool. It does feel like you've had to do a lot of these behind the scenes runs too. Though I watch them, so I don't have much to say. When you're zoning into the fight, we know you're a really intense guy. You approach things very strategically. You're always studying your opponent. Do you have any unwinding activities do? Do you like catch up on Breaking Bad or finally get into Lost during these nights, or is it all game plan for you?
No, it's a little bit of both. You definitely just try to achieve some sense of normalcy. You know, I'm out there with my coaches, and, you know, we all get along really well. So a lot of the time it's just kind of sitting around bullshitting, and you know, and then you know, training and you know, doing the work thing. But a lot of it's just kind of just hanging out with the guys.
Now, Carlos, you mentioned hanging out with the coaches. Coach Jackson is very, very famous for being very calm in situations. Do you have a rage captain? Follow up. Do you know what a rage captain is in your corner?
A rage captain? It's somebody who pumps you up, basically.
Oh yeah, somebody who just comes in there and tells you are going to walk on water.
You know what? You know, Greg is very calm, but he can fill that place if you need it. You know, usually I don't need it. Usually I'm the one they're trying to calm me down. But every once in a while, you know, some days you're flat, and you know, Greg will you know, kind of tap into that animosity and you know, get you pumped up.
Now, in the moment, what's the best thing he's ever told you?
Well, I think one fight I was like, oh man, you know, I was warming up and my legs felt heavy, and you know, he's like, you trained to beat him on your worst day. You know, this is, you know, if you're not feeling good, this is what you train for. You train to be, you'll kill him on your best day, but you train to annihilate him on your worst day. If this is your worst day, you're fine. You're still going to win the fight. And I think that was before Dun Young Kim. You know, nice. Went out there and, you know, took care of business.
There you go. That's always my favorite. I like seeing your guys' last minute, sort of the training sessions, and you can hear him talking to you during the sparring sections, which is always fun to see in those behind the scenes. We like it. So if you can give us sort of your 20-second game plan for Matt Brown, what are you looking to do in this fight?
You know, he's a well-rounded guy. So it's not like, okay, I'm going to keep it standing, or I'm going to take him to the ground, because I feel like he's pretty well versed everywhere. But I plan to just be better than him in those positions. Be a little bit sharper, be a little bit more technical, and you know, keep the pace. Keep the pace and just keep grinding. You know, make him suffer from bell to bell.
That's a pretty good answer. Not 20 seconds, but pretty good.
Yeah, that was. It was close.
Now, Carlos, I'm going to ask you this. Okay, this is very important. Are you listening to me?
I am.
Okay, this is so important. What are the chances you will finish Matt Brown via verbal tap, and more importantly, give us the credit for said verbal tap?
Think about it, Carlos.
I don't. You want odds? I don't know. But odds are good. Odds are good at getting finished.
0% wasn't acceptable.
It was.
Yeah. So up until this point, we've done a good job hiding. Well, I've done a good job keeping it professional, but it's time to sort of throw that out the window. As most that listen to this show know, you are my favorite fighter in the world, and I know we've got to get you back to training. So will you indulge, and this is really Raph's 50th gift to me, in a quick lightning round from your unofficial president of the fan club?
Yes, well, let's do it. I always suck at these things, but let's do it.
I think you're going to find this one particularly good. So
Although, Carlos, just know it's never that you suck. It's going to be that Kevin sucks. Just remember that as you answer these questions. You can also mock Carlos. The questions if you need.
You also have Muay Thai skills that terrify me. So, okay, do you currently have a fan club?
No, not officially. Not really.
I take that as a vacuum. Okay, NBK Kids on the Block as Natural Born Killer. What do you think about that as a fan club name, just preliminarily? It's good, it's bad?
We could that could work. I like it.
That would be killer on some T-shirts. Next question, favorite movie when preparing for a fight?
Oh, man. Either Gladiator or Last Samurai.
Hell yes. Okay, any ideas for a new tattoo?
You know what? I really like skulls. It was like the first thing I learned to draw when I was a kid, and I've always wanted to get a skull, and I don't have one, so I may get a skull. We'll see.
Second to last question. I don't hate Matt Brown. Follow up. Do you want me to for this fight?
It doesn't matter.
I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to take that as a passive yes, and I'm going to do it anyway. Last question. Do you regret doing this?
Oh, this right now?
Yeah, just the lightning round. Woo!
You only live once.
That's right.
Carlos, I'll ask you this. Is the restraining order that you have against Kevin still intact after this interview?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. And I'm going to go and make sure it stays that way.
I'll take that as a maybe on if I get to Arizona, we can do some jiu-jitsu training. I'll take that as a tentative maybe. Carlos, we can't tell you how much we appreciate your time this evening, and it sounds like your dog's ready for a training session in the background, which I can understand. I have a hound myself.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on our 50th episode of Verbal Tap. We will be cheering for you heavily this coming December 14th. We expect a pretty swift and furious finish, so good luck, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. Take care.
Come on down. More voicemails.
Hey guys, it's John Evans from BJJBreakdown.com. I just called in because I heard that you guys were celebrating your 50th episode, and I just want to say congratulations. That's awesome. I think I speak for all the fans when I say just how excited I am to watch Raph continue to amass a small army of 3Ds and in turn bask in Kevin's mounting jealousy. No, but seriously, I love what you guys have done so far, and I'm glad to even have been just a small part of it. But, yeah, I was going to end with a nerdy joke about 50-50, but Kevin said Raph might reprimand me, even despite the fact that sometimes he'll hook the other way. Oh, God, I really said that. Anyway, yeah, congrats, guys. Really awesome stuff, and I do look forward to all the shows that follow, so big congrats one more time. All right, guys, later.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Cody Bollinger. Just want to say congrats on hitting the 50th episode, guys. You guys kick ass. Ralph and both of you guys, man. Thank you for everything. Still one of the best interviews I've ever done. Keep it up and keep kicking ass, guys.
The thing with Carlos Raph, well, I should probably just call him Los.
Please don't explain as if you're friends.
No, I think I should talk about it as though we've clearly passed a place, and it's no longer just amazing fighter, amazing
This
fan.
poor man was nice
Now
enough to
it's
grant us an interview, and
bridging
you are
up into
accosting him. Have some journalistic integrity about yourself.
James Coe said I don't have to when it comes to fighter crushes. You're gonna see it. Everyone's gonna see it on BJJ or on BJJ on UFC Underground when they're showing his tenacity. Everyone
Okay,
should
I'm going to
watch
stop.
that and they'll
Kevin,
understand.
yes, we'll see it. Carlos Condit is a great fighter. Thank you so much for being on, Carlos, and thank you for putting up with Kevin. We really appreciate it. But we do have other things to get to.
I don't remember other things, but sure.
Yes, we do. We actually, just right now, got Julianna Pena on the show, the other Ultimate Fighter winner, and the very first female to win the Ultimate Fighter ever. We have her on the line right now. Let's do the 1 minute review and talk to her.
Okay, I'll buzz Carlos in too. So
Carlos is gone.
But first,
more voicemails.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Caveman. I wanted to congratulate you guys on your 50th podcast, but, let's be honest, that's meager at best. And I'm on my 500th crab rangoon since my last fight, so I think that's something more so we should talk about. That's an accomplishment, and you guys need to step up your game and call me when you've got your 501st crab rangoon or something cool. So, but thanks, guys. Y'all been awesome. Glad to have been part of the show, and, hopefully you'll make it to 100.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Mike Jasper calling to tell you guys congrats on the 50th show, the podcast. Had a pleasure being on there not too long ago. I'd love to do it again. Give me a call. We can do this anytime. Talk to you guys soon. Congrats again.
Verbal Tap Cast. This is Joe Williams, Bellator welterweight, calling to wish you guys a great 2014. Thank you for all the wonderful, delightful Twitter banter over the 2013 year. You guys make MMA better, and I just want to thank you guys for that. Reading all of your hilarious tweets. I'll never forget the Fox Sports Juan. That was excellent. You guys got to have me back in soon so I can rip off some more corny jokes. Don't worry, I got more material for you guys, and the delivery will be solid. You got my word on that one. But thank you guys for everything. Thanks for the interview. It was awesome hanging out with you guys for what seemed like forever, but it was great. Feel free to give me a call anytime. You guys have a great Christmas and a great New Year, and hope to hear from you soon. Thanks. God bless.
It's a bittersweet night here at the 50th because we say goodbye to the Ultimate Fighter Season 18.
No!
Yeah, and Raph, you're off the podcast. You're fired.
Why am I off the podcast?
Because you don't really do anything other than the 1 minute review. That's done.
There's tons of stuff I do.
That's true. One of those things is book really amazing guests. Without further ado, and this is a journalistic moment, we have a guest on the podcast tonight that just made UFC women's history. Julianna, the Venezuelan Vixen Pena. Julianna, how are you doing this evening?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're great.
We're doing fine.
Was there perhaps an over-celebration this weekend that might have led to you not feeling so great right now, Julianna?
Over celebration is an understatement. I'm dying. I'm literally dying, and I'm never drinking again until next time.
That's right.
That's right. That's the attitude.
That's fantastic.
Well, it is a true testament to you, as the person who didn't tap when her arm was broken, that you would power through and go through an even more excruciating thing in talking to the two of us today. But we're so happy to have you back, and we're so excited to see your journey, and we thought it'd be befitting to close out the Ultimate Fighter 1 minute review with an Ultimate Fighter winner, most especially the first female Ultimate Fighter winner. Are you okay with this?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Yeah, last time we told you about it. This time we actually get to show it to you. Raph, are you ready to do your final Ultimate Fighter review? You've got your tissues with you?
I'm a little sad, so I'm gonna get emotional to the end.
Okay. Well, Ladies and gentlemen, warning. This is a 1-minute review of The Ultimate Fighter, and here we go.
Previously on The Ultimate Fighter, Anthony Gutierrez was so fat, how fat was he, that Dana White just said leave to him. Then, Davey Grant cried his way to the finale with a bye, but Raquel beat Jessamine in a 3-round war, causing Dana to have a bro crush on Raquel. And Jessica slammed her way into the semifinals. Today, Raquel takes on Jessica. Now, who will become the first non-dude to win The Ultimate Fighter? The Ultimate Fighter? Raquel says that as a kid, people told her she was too pretty. She had a bad snowboarding injury, and she gets bandaged up around her head like she has some memory loss. They're training, and then Raquel goes down, compliments of Louis Facette. He's not going to be happy until he makes someone lose 3 matches, including himself, is he? Lots of close-ups on Raquel's hands means it must be injured. Don't fist bump her. She just said her hand hurts. Jessica's story, jump rope. They've been working on her stand-up. Everyone thinks that Jessica's got excellent hands. And Coach Edmond says, but this is not a boxing match. Good news, everyone. Chris Beal's hands have recuperated. Bad news, he almost took out Jessica with them. Is everyone who lost their quarterfinal fight now just injuring their female teammates? Chris apologizes at least. Unlike some people, Louis. Weigh-in dude calls up Jessica, then Raquel. Hey, we're actually going to get a fight this time. And everyone now is telling who they think is going to win. Holdsworth says, I think it's better to take Jessica to the ground. She's hard to beat there. And Roxanne says, it'll be a slugfest. And Chris Beal's like, yo, I'm still fucking here. Meanwhile, looks like Davey Grant picked up the Anthony Gutierrez fatty gene, eating syrup bacon. Raquel tells us that she is having a dream about fireworks. And Jessica's crying. She misses her kids, but tells us, don't let all these tears fool you. I will still beat a chick down to the ground. Jessica says, you picked me last. No big deal. I'm only in the semis. It's cool. No grudges. Jessica then says that Raquel gets high off of pain and offers to fill up her prescription dosage. And we're at the fights. You know it's important because Dana White is wearing all black. Anyone want to take a guess if this fight is starting standing up or not? Spoiler alert, it does. And Rocky takes center of the octagon while Jessica keeps her distance and sticks and moves. 3 minutes in, and Jessica smells blood and rushes in. Rocky shoots and pushes her all the way to the cage. Working for a single, Rocky finally gets her takedown after a full minute. They stagger back up. Rocky has Jessica's back, but gets some elbows for her trouble. End of round 1. Misha walks over to greet Rocky and says, hey girl, good job. Round 2. We're back up, and it's a stand-up war. Jessica's picking up the pace, and now Rocky is backing up. I think Jessica's boxing that everyone keeps talking about is really coming into play for some reason. 2 minutes into it, Rocky recomposes herself and decides, fuck it, I'm back in the fight. Meanwhile, Misha is yelling from the outside, I want to know, do you want to win this fight? And with 20 seconds left in round 2, Rocky is working for another takedown, but Jessica stops it. End of round 2, Misha tells Rocky she's not even hitting her. Jessica's just punching her to make it seem like she's busy. Weird, it kind of looks like she's hitting her. Round 3, we're back up to a stand-up war, and Jessica's starting to break down Rocky's timing. Middle of round 3, Rocky starts working the kicks again, but she's going to need more of those to counter. Oh shit, her face is busted! Rocky is starting to bleed. Remember all those times Misha said that Jessica wasn't hitting her? Well, it appears that going into the third, Jessica must have heard Misha say that because she's now making up for it in drones with punches. Rocky tries for a final takedown, and it's a little too late, and the fight is over. Dana White, that wasn't the fucking fight I thought I'd see. At the end of that first round, what the fuck happened? She's better than that, with no question. Jessica wins the fight by decision. It is so beyond happy she can't even make words. Shayna says that she's riding the Raquelzy train all the way to the end. What? Misha then takes the loss so personally and blames herself for the loss, making it the first time she and Ronda ever agree on something. Now it's time for Dana to sell the fights. Dana makes all the fighters pose for absolutely no reason, and Dana loves Holdsworth. I fucking love that kid, but Davey, yeah, he's all right too. I can't fucking pick. Then, after their pose off, Misha then comes over to Ronda to give some socks and a middle finger, but Ronda handles it with all of the class we've seen this season by tossing them aside. Dana judo chops his way into the middle to break it up. Misha blows a kiss at Ronda, and Dana says, I knew that would be fucking fun. Misha throws the socks at Ronda, who then goes Terminator silent. Ronda, whatever, she can snicker with her little boyfriend. Next time on the Ultimate Fighter finale, Chris Holdsworth tell Davey Grant, this is my destiny, man. I'm not going to let you take it from me. And he doesn't. And Julianna Pena wins Indominus. And that, my friends, was the Ultimate Fighter. Season completed.
Woo! Juliana, is that how you remember it? Is that how everything went?
Exactly to a T.
Exactly. We left out the part where Julianna goes out and gets violently wasted after making history. But that might make it into the epilogue. How are you feeling post all of this craziness? You are a UFC contracted fighter now. How are things?
They're good. I mean, it hasn't really set in yet. I don't have a Harley yet in front of me. I haven't got. I don't know how everything's going to work out. Like, I wonder. I need to know who I need to talk to about this. I'm like, do I get like a big, huge like check, literally, like when you win the lotto or something? You, like, write your name on it for like $100,000. Like,
that would be awesome if Dana showed up at your door. I've got a Harley and a huge check.
Yeah, a girl can dream.
So, talk us through the fight, because there was never really a question in that fight that you weren't dominating. So, what surprised you? What didn't surprise you? What was the moment where you go, oh my God, I'm the ultimate fighter. I'm going to win this.
What surprised me is that I finished it with 1 second left. I think that she deserved one more second. But at the same time, it's not like it would have gone any different in the second than it went in the first. So the referee's job to protect the fighter, and he's looking at the damage of the fighter, not the clock. So it was a good stop.
Sure, and you were definitely swarming her for a long period of time, though. So it wasn't like they didn't not give her a chance to respond for, a couple minutes of getting just punched and obliterated.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I always say that when a fight gets stopped like that, I'm always like, come on. 3 more. Way more.
No, I was just surprised. And I agree with Raph. We've seen the questionable decisions. This didn't feel like one. It just looked like, kind of exactly what was going to happen after about 15, 20 seconds into the fight. Was that your strategy, to just push the action and overwhelm her? What was your strategy as you went in?
It wasn't necessarily to finish her like that, or to go out, balls to the walls. But the game plan always is to keep the pace, put the pressure on them, and overwhelm them, and no space. And that's what I try to do for all my fights. So.
Very cool. So have you and Chris Holdsworth already started battling it out? Have you guys set a date about who's going to fight this? I like your chances.
Who's going to fight what?
I just think you and Holdsworth, I assumed you all would already be looking at settling this champion on champion match of Tough 18.
Oh, no, I would never fight a guy seriously ever again. I mean, I fight my training partners in the gym, but one time I fought a dude, I got my eyes swollen shut for 3 days and 11 stitches, so I'll never I don't want to fight Chris. He can have.
I mean, what was the describe the feeling that you had with Misha. What did Misha talk to you about after the fight?
Well, when I got in the house, and I saw that Misha was the coach, I was definitely surprised. And then when I got first pick and stuff, I told her, you heard it right here and now. I'm taking this championship, and we're going to ride off into the sunset on our Harleys. And every time I talk to her throughout this camp, she's like, remember what you said? We're riding off into the sunset in our Harleys. And so when I won, I gave her a hug and I said, we're riding off into the sunset in our Harleys. So it's true, I was right. So we're going to have to do that one day.
I think that's such a nice thing. There was some weird criticism that was happening, I guess, just with the comments that you were making about Ronda. Do you care to talk about that at all? Just in the fact that you didn't find her to be very favorable, or you just didn't think that she conducted herself well. Do you mind talking about that?
Well, I just think that Ronda, I don't know, she had some choice words to say about me on the show, And I was just, what I meant by her being, a spoiled rich brat, I wasn't trying to draw on the fact that, she is rich or wealthy and stuff like that. I was just trying to point out that the way that she acts seems like she has her nose in the air and that she's better than everyone, and that she truly believes that another human being doesn't deserve to breathe the same air as another human being. And to me, I don't think that that's right. And she talks a lot about being real and being real to your face and stuff like that. And she never told me that I didn't deserve to breathe the same air as Shayna. So I think that that's kind of a hypocritical moment on her part. But I'm not really trying to touch too much bases on that. Rhonda is who she is, and
sure,
whatever she wants to act like, people don't deserve to breathe the same air as other people, or, if she wants to act with her nose in the air, then that's fine. It's just, I see her that way, and that's fine,
I can respect that.
She can carry herself however she wants, but that's the point I was trying to make. It doesn't necessarily have to do with how much money she has. It just has to do with the way that she acts.
Now, how do you contrast that to, Misha very well? Just describe what is it that in your experience that you found just in handling and talking with Misha, both as a coach and as a friend.
About what? About Rhonda?
No, you don't have to talk about Rhonda. I'm just saying comparatively, like what has been your experience just with Misha as a friend? Because Rhonda's categorized her as team, fake and that. And I was always wondering what your perception of Misha was in that respect.
Well, Misha is a really nice girl, and I respect her a lot. And I think that she's amazing for the sport, and I think she's an amazing skilled fighter. And, I love her dearly. I think she's awesome.
Beautiful. Now we are officially closing the door on all of the drama that is Rhonda and Misha because we're done with it.
Yay!
we are officially we're done with it, but we did want to ask because I don't think a lot of people really described what it was as Misha as a coach, and that was something that we were always interested in, especially with that criticism from Rhonda,
No, Misha was a great coach, and even though they make it look like she's playing favorites and all that stuff, aside from all that, she really cared about her fighters a ton. And I felt that, and I got that all season long. And so she was really there for us, and she was a fantastic coach.
Sweet.
So Julianna, we know we will see you in the UFC next. What do you do now? Do you just keep training and start talking about the next fights?
Yeah, I asked Sean Shelby who I'm fighting next, and he said, F you. He just fought. Leave me alone.
All right. Well, if we know you like we are starting to get to, we know you're ready to get back in the cage as soon as they'll have you. So it's probably good they're going to make you take a little break first. People can still find you where on Twitter?
On at Venezuelan Vixen. Yeah, I wouldn't mind taking a little break, that's for sure. Dang, I've fought 4 times in the last couple of months, so.
We were stoked to see the results. Julianna, we cannot thank you enough for coming on the podcast this evening.
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Hangover and all.
Yeah,
with the champ.
I'm dying.
Hey, you know what? You're going to be okay. And just on behalf of both of us, we just want to say congratulations. It's so great to see that you won. And we look forward to having you back when you're at full strength. So please get some rest. You're a friend of the podcast, and we couldn't be happy for you.
Oh, thanks, Kevin. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me on. Have a great day.
Bye, Julianna.
Bye-bye.
Hey, guess what's up now? Yep, more voicemails.
Hi, yeah, this is Paul from Open Mat Radio. That's Open Mat Radio. Yeah, the checks you guys have been sending haven't been clearing. Let me make sure that I got the... Oh, I'm sorry, this is the wrong line. The many departments are a little bit different, I suppose. I guess this is the line that you're supposed to say, congratulations on all you've accomplished, and you guys are doing a really good job, and I hope to see another 50 to 500 episodes, although if you don't pay your bills, I don't know if that's going to happen. But seriously, guys, thank you for all that you've done. The community thanks you for bringing some laughter and good analysis into the MMA and jiu-jitsu game. I really appreciate your show. I look forward to every episode, and I can't wait to hear more. So again, thank you for everything you've done for my show. Again, that's Open Mat Radio, and I look forward to working with you guys in the future. All right, cheers.
What's up, Raph? What's up, Kevin? This is Marshall from Artichoke Media. I wanted to call to wish you guys a happy 50th episode. I'm amazed you guys got this far. You guys did quite a hack job. No, I'm just kidding. I love you guys. You guys are doing a great job. Here's to 50 more.
And now we go from Venezuelan Vixen to Texas Vixen.
How long did it take you to work that one out?
Like total in my head and writing it, or just the writing it part?
Both.
2 minutes.
Sweet.
Okay, 5 minutes.
Bubba McDaniel, everybody.
Bubba McDaniel. Oh, but voicemails first? Absolutely.
I wanted to congratulate Verbal Podcast. Verbal. Hi, I wanted to wish happy birthday to Verbal Tap Podcast and all the guys working there, and also congratulate you to making it down to Systems Training Center in Hawthorne and getting a chance to experience Systems Training Center in Hawthorne. Twitter @SystemsTC, Instagram Systems Training Center. Great knowing you guys. Can't wait for the 100th birthday party, which should be the 100th podcast, and I think will be at the same time as Raf's 46th birthday, if I'm not wrong. Congratulations, guys.
Verbal Tap fans, please stop sending us emails that we have this next guest back on. We called him. We know he's the favorite. Look, you're not telling Raph and I anything new. That's why, without further ado, we have on the line Bubba, the Bubbasaurus, the Menace, McDaniel. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing good. How y'all doing?
Not too bad. And we were talking to Bubba a little bit before, and he said he had just left a restaurant. He had just gotten done eating, which means we caught you at your happiest moment, right?
Exactly. Belly's full. Doing good.
Speaking of which, Bubba,
I had a long week stretched out this week, too. Thanksgiving, everybody always asks me about it. And that's a rough subject. But a year ago this time, I was hating life, and this year it's one of the better Thanksgivings I've ever had.
I was about to say, I saw that on Twitter, and I saw people very, very quickly being like, "Hey, Bubba, you gonna have a good Thanksgiving?" And you couldn't have been.
Of course.
You were so just like, "I'm eating. I don't give a shit."
Corn, mashed potatoes, absolutely.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, and I had another one. Even, we went and we had Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday Thanksgiving dinners with different parts of the family, things like that. So I made up for it.
That's awesome.
That is pretty cool. Bubba, what are you up to? You're training right now, right?
I am training. I'm traveling a little bit. I've been going back home to see the kids for the holidays, things like that. Had the daughter's birthday. My son's birthday is coming up pretty quick. Got to be back and forth between Albuquerque and Wichita Falls, Texas to get there. Went and I actually, via Twitter, got asked to take a girl to a semi-formal at Texas Tech not too long ago. And I got my suit delivered down there and went and took a girl to a dance for her sorority. When I got there, it was a Christian sorority up there. Whoa, I better change my language a little bit. got there, did that. You know, it was a freaking blizzard in Lubbock too. People were rolling cars and everything. And I drove myself down there, got there, and did that. Spent a little bit of time down with Bruno Bastos down at Midland. Did a little bit of jiu-jitsu with him, put a gi on and everything. So I've been having a good time. Doing a good bit of training, but glad to be home in Jackson again. Getting down, and getting dirty with the best.
Absolutely. Very cool. And I was thinking about this as we were watching the Ultimate Fighter finale. You know what they need to do to really spruce up ratings? And this is also a nice segue. They should have an Ultimate Fighter Bad Boys edition. Because I feel like I don't feel like you necessarily. Well, maybe your Texasness just draws, but I do feel like you might get invited on as just with your incendiariness.
Yeah, here's the thing about that is everybody has that opinion of me that I'm the butthole of the season and everything until they hang out with me and they're like, oh, you're really a nice guy. I was like, yeah, well, we get into another house or something like that and I'm trying to make weight again. I was like, you'll see the ladder of that again.
Now, before we get into the Ultimate Fighter, and we just have to say, today marked a special occasion, not just the 50th podcast, but also the first time Kevin got to talk to Carlos Condit.
No way. Carlos?
Oh, yeah. We kept it very professional, mostly. I only started to lose it towards the last minute.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not going to get to see him again until in the morning, but yeah, I'll definitely throw it out there, a big thing to let him know that his lover on the other end there was really happy about it.
I was about to say, Bubba, when you talk to him, please reinforce, if not that both of us are normal, at least that I'm normal, because I feel like every time we talk with Carlos, and he's nice enough to give us time, and you'll hear the interview on here, he was great with us, but you just want to apologize to him for Kevin's behavior and just be like, I'm so sorry.
I don't know what to tell him.
I'm so sorry.
And here's the problem. They just did another one of those UFC Undergrounds. So we're going to get to see, and I'll watch his 3 or 4 times. I'm an irrational fan. Can't help it.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. Most definitely. I got to hear this now since there's apologies needed.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the best part.
Tears of joy, all that good stuff.
Oh, Kevin took a minute after we finished recording with him and was just like, Raph, can we stop recording? And I go, yeah, why? And he just goes, I just need a minute. I'm so happy right now.
You couldn't hear me screaming like a girl for 5 minutes. I was dancing around. Backstreet Boys was playing. It was a real moment.
It's true.
Why don't we have video of this? What do you have to video cast then? Because we need to do this. Somehow we need to figure this out. Somebody get the webcams going.
Well, Bubba, anytime you want to Skype in with us on a video call, you're more than welcome to do so. We do small little promos where Kevin and I are yelling at each other and previewing the episode. So you're more than welcome to do anything of that you'd like.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, we'll discuss how to exactly do that here
sure.
pretty quick.
Sure.
I guess after we do this. I would love to do that. I'll go make some different things happen. We'll have a good time with that.
You were made for television. I don't think I'm alone when I say that.
Know, here's the thing, is even lately, I've had all my friends going, why is there not a camera crew following you at all times? I was like,
we've been saying that for a while.
They're missing gold. They're missing gold. That's all I know.
Well, Bubba,
I, for one, would have loved to have seen you take this girl to the semi-formal. I would have really enjoyed to see some of the inner workings of how that all went down.
I don't know how we haven't harped more on this, Bubba. What was the best part
you
about
haven't heard more on this, huh? Shoot, there's a lot to be said about it. I went on there. It was actually, for a while, she was harping it on her Twitter, and I retweeted a few times and talked to her. Her and her friend both, were real excited about it. She was until I actually got there, she was thinking I was going to bail on her. So you know how it is. It's like I told people, I'm just trying to make memories, things like that, do things for people, to where how often is this going to happen? I told him, I was like, I'm living 15 minutes right now. People want me to do things with them, and it'll make their whole year. Why would I not want to do things if I'm able to?
And the thing is, think of the stories that you get from it. It's just an amazing experience. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. It's been crazy. It's like I was saying. People were like, you did what? With who? And, you know. Oh, yeah. It was a good time. Good time.
Don't worry. Kevin is slowly jotting down.
Just yeah.
Kevin is slowly trying to figure out if he can make his way back into his sorority so that he can ask Carlos Condit to his own prom. But, you know, I digress. Let's get to the Ultimate Fighter. Bubba, you are kind of our resident in-house expert as being somebody who's been on there. What are things that you think, because we all know there are some conventions that can be improved. What are some things that you think could improve the next season of the Ultimate Fighter?
You know, just the one big thing that I had the biggest problem with, but I was a professional enough to get it done every time, was make weight, pussies. Jesus. You know, and that's the thing is, I'm telling you, man, it's a touchy subject right there because people give me hell for the way I acted while I was trying to make weight. You know, and at least I made it. You know, like no matter what struggle I had going on, anything, I made it. I made everything happen. You know, I made weight 4 times in 5 weeks, and these, you know, that what's his name, Anthony or whatever, had to make weight twice in 6 weeks, and they're sitting there eating pizza and everything, things I would have loved to have been doing. You know, trying to make yourself feel good, put a little carbs in you, something like that. Would have loved to feel like that. And this goes off. How many pounds overweight was he?
He has the best cardio in the house, though. Like, are you forgetting that?
Yeah, he had the carbs. He had the carbs in for the cardio. Everybody else is dying to make sure they can stay on weight.
Yeah. And you're not wrong, only because, like, at the end of all of this, we were 2 fights short of a full season. So it really, I feel like...
They only had half the people in there. They only had to worry about 8 guys. Oh. What is wrong with you?
Bubba, before your next fight, I'm just going to call you, and I'm going to be like, tough 18. They didn't have enough time to make weight. That's what I'm just going to whisper to you. I'm going to be like, you had to earn it. Thanksgiving 2012.
Cardio. Yeah. Best cardio. How was his cardio if he had to make that weight? What was he, like 7 pounds off still?
He was up, yeah.
Yeah, what would his cardio have been like? You know, if he was that much, you know, he ended up having to make that weight. Let's say they made him make the weight, made him starve out, made this, and he'd have stayed on the show. How do you think your performance would have been there, big guy? Jesus.
He was at least 8 pounds over the morning it started.
I really don't. Like, I don't talk crap about much. And you guys, you know, like, I give respect to all this stuff. But the first thing that you have to do to even be able to fight is make weight. Your first half of your paycheck is to make weight. After that, you're paid if you win. But it's like, as I said, you know, Dana White had so many people, millions of people would love this opportunity, and you go out and spoil it. You know, the only thing that he did was fight to get in the house. He did nothing else and almost got to the finale. I'm so disgusted by that. You know what I mean?
I mean, the fact that his opponent missed weight, and then he missed weight, it was just like, come on, dude. Yeah, you didn't even have to fight the one time. And I don't know why his was worse to me. It just was. Because Cody's kind of, I don't know. It happens once, but after it happened once on the show, it was like, come on.
But Kevin, the reason it was worse is because there was the doubling down. It was man, that was some serious shit getting that guy kicked off. I'm going to eat this sandwich full of mayonnaise.
Go ahead, Bubba.
You know, in time, it's like Dana said, literally, that was the easiest road to the finals ever in Ultimate Fighter history. The easiest. And he punked out on it? Are you kidding me? So I'm really disgusted by that. I really, really am. Like, the whole thing in itself just makes me want to, you know, go out there and smack people, you know, or, you know, I just don't know, punch their mom in the mouth for not giving them, enough manners to do that. You know,
again, if the cameras were rolling, I think you'd
I
have
know.
hot gold. So
I mean,
let me float.
There should be T-shirts that say "Punch your mom in your mouth for no manners."
Let me float a less aggressive idea by you.
Yes.
Well, you know, that's the thing is my mom, my dad, my pop, you know, everything, they give me a lot. And that's the thing. I do have manners to a certain degree. Like, I ask people, I hold doors, I say ma'am, you know, sir, things like that. Don't get me wrong, I'm not the classiest dude ever, but at least I have a little bit of, you know, coot at times. But come on, man. You know, like.
So, Bubba, let me pitch an alternative idea at you, because your principles as a gentleman are unquestioned on this podcast, sir. Others may question it. We know you mean well. You are genuinely of nice intent. What about a show where we assign talent captains to each team, and the fighters are then tasked with performing a variety show of some kind every third or fourth episode? I'm not saying Raph and I could run it with your assistance. I'm just saying the three of us would make a dynamic team.
Sure.
I still believe that we should do this with my in front of camera skills and y'all's behind the scenes skills. You know,
absolutely.
Yeah, we could do this. We could most definitely. Is this like going to be like a Whose Line Is It Anyway kind of thing?
Yeah, with all the karaoke you can imagine. I'm thinking American Idol meets The Ultimate Fighter.
Ooh, that's good.
Oh yeah, have you heard my golden pipes? I can flex them bad boys for you, but you know you might need
I have heard your karaoke skills, sir, and they are skills.
They're legendary.
Yeah, you definitely, like I said, you would need a hearing aid afterward.
But there's all sorts of options, I'm saying, like maybe a poetry-themed night, karaoke. We could make this happen and add some comedy to this show. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, poetry. I punch you in the face right before you spray me with me. That's the first thing that should come to mind.
Yeah, no. This is your audition tape for Fox Sports 1. I think they're gonna be calling you any second now.
Oh yeah, I need a commentating job. I need all that good stuff. I'll start refereeing and all that again. It'd be good.
Yeah.
Let me go in and referee the fight for the house. You know, be a judge, stuff like that.
So Bubba, this was our 50th episode, and we were celebrating because you were our first milestone guest. You were our Ultimate Fighter intro.
It's one of those things where I'm just as proud to be on the 50th show as y'all are to have it. You know, it's a really big deal for me too. Like I said, it was one of the podcasts that I was first listening to while the season was going on. Had good stuff, you know, and kept me interested, that's for sure, and I wanted to be a part of it.
And here he is, 50 episodes later, and we're excited for you to get back in the cage. It's just time to have some Bubbasaurus back on.
Yeah, we definitely need a Bubbasaurus Rex moment out there in the cage. So, everybody get on it, and let's get on Joe and Dana and let them know Bubba's ready to fight. Let's get this done.
Yeah, we got to work on, because like I said, we have some ideas to make you promotional crazy before the fight.
Yeah.
Just maybe like some mullet type shots, something that maybe throws a little stern over the bow that makes you UFC quantifiable, you know, like you get that X factor.
Right.
I think that's good.
Well, here's the thing about that is I can't grow a mullet. I might be able to grow a skullet because I'm kind of bald up top.
Perfect.
I get the whole skullet going on for sure.
You rip off a rash tankini before each match, and people are going to say, that's a guy I want to see fight again.
Walk in there doing it. Coming out to, I am a real American.
They're them golden pipes we were waiting for.
What if Big was good to go still? And you know, like the arm ties and all that come out of the Ultimate Warrior, just sprint to the ring, breathing all heavy, everything by the time you get there, blood rush to your head.
I mean,
that would be kind of awesome.
Bubba, we are no shortage of entrances for you, especially former WWF entrances. I do worry about you running out of breath before you get in a cage, though.
Okay, well then let's do this one. We'll go with Shawn Michaels. We'll come out to Sexy Boy and all that.
Yes, sir.
Now we're talking.
I do have to ask
Have
though.
people behind me with sparklers like Goldberg and everything too. Do that whole entrance. That'd be great.
You're just going to take all of the entrances from all of the wrestlers and make it into
looks like
one giant finale.
Looks like a nuclear bomb went off.
I know. The important thing, though, Bubba, is do you have a good sweet chin music? How is your kick? Do you have a good finisher?
Oh, man. Have you not seen my super kick? Death. Instant death.
I've seen your roundhouse kick. They're very different, though, Bubba.
What's that?
I've seen your roundhouse kick. They're two different moves.
They are. They really are. I think we might need a training session with Shawn Michaels to ante this thing up to where it needs to be.
That's right.
The whole make sure the pop is loud enough with the leg slap, everything.
Exactly.
Jesus.
Talk about something else that belongs on the internet.
Exactly. I think those are all. It's the small details, Kevin, that he knows exactly where the sound is supposed to be.
Oh yeah. Listen. I am not just a one-generation wrestler watching kind of guy. I'm a multi-generational here. I got grandparents that will probably, be able to tell you more about it than I can.
You and Donald Cerrone should start a club called, like, the Gunslingers.
I'm going to tell you like this. He's got me beat by a mile on anything to do with redneckism. That guy,
really?
I love listening to him talk. Like, even people are like, "You're hilarious." I'm like, "Shit, I'm nothing." Let's listen to Cowboy. I mean, did you see his Turkey Day thanks for what he was thankful for?
No.
Oh man, it was like he's like good, thankful for good friends, good loving, and good whiskey. Just something like that. It was crazy. And it was on the spot. It was just hilarious. I was like, "Oh man, you gotta be kidding me."
That's awesome.
Cerrone's. Well, we're gonna have to get him on for this redneck off though now, because I consider it a personal challenge if Bubba's saying someone's more redneck than he is.
Maybe for our 100th.
Maybe 100.
I'm telling you that right there. You got me beat if you get him on there. I'm telling you, it's one of those things to where even I sit in the hall going, "God, I wish I could be like you." Yeah.
Love it.
No, he's definitely got my redneckisms down. He's the cowboy for a reason.
He wears the hat.
That's another thing too. Is my friends they would crap a brick if I ever walked in with a cowboy hat on. They would think something was wrong with me.
But not with a skullet. With a skullet, they'd be like,
There you go. If I had a skullet, they would be like, "Hey, that's just you."
That guy looks important. Bubba, where can people find you on Twitter? You're still at Bubba the Menace for your fans. We talk to you all the time.
I am, and I have recently joined to Instagram for at Bubba the Menace also.
For your 8th grade girl fans? Is that who are you?
Oh, shut up, Kevin.
Sorry, I'm still against.
I like that we spent this whole time building him up. It's like, oh man, our favorite guest. Let's go ahead and bring him back on. Yeah, how's being a girl that's 8?
Instagram. Sorry, I just finished my second day.
My bad. I'm at Bubba the Menace on Instagram, at Bubba the Menace on Twitter. Instagram is newly added. We've got the all famous Three Ninjas kick on that one with me, Frankie Lester, and Anthony Lapsley. Other than that, then we've got the Bubba McDaniel fan page on Facebook, and my personal page. That's a rough one to go on. Like you can't actually be added on it. I can't even accept friend requests right now.
Damn.
But send me a message, something like that. I still respond to things like that. So good times either way.
He is Bubba the Menace McDaniel. He's our special 50th celebration guest. We had to talk to him to close out tonight's show. We cannot thank you enough for being on, Bubba.
I thank y'all again for having me on the 50th. It's an honor.
Bubba McDaniel.
And now, more voicemails.
Verbal tap, 50 episodes, Well, I suppose some type of congratulations are in order. 50s are one of my favorite forms of currency, if nothing else. This is Trav from Fight Smart here. A little congratulatory voicemail. Apologize if it's a little echoey. I'm taking a shit right now. But, you gotta multitask. Gotta make use of your time. Like, if you're already talking about mixed martial arts, you might as well fucking record it and make a podcast out of it. Let the people enjoy the things that you have to say. Why not? I mean, after all, you did somehow create 50 episodes just talking about punching and kicking. Seems a little improbable when you think of it that way, but I don't know. I am somehow making my living doing pretty much the same fucking thing. So, well, kudos to all of us, and congratulations on a 50th podcast. I fucking like you guys. You know the sport. You know what you're talking about. Keep doing what you're doing, and I was trying to come up with some type of pun or play on words for verbal tap, but it's not coming to me. And who taps verbally anyhow? It's fucking ridiculous. Just let them break your arm or go to sleep at the end of the day. It's the Gracie way. Not that I fucking studied at Gracie school or anything, but, let's be honest, I'd rather go to sleep than fucking verbally tap any day. Alright, I think that's it. I'm gonna keep shitting now. You guys have a good night, or day, whenever you check this. Okay, bye.
Raph Esparza, happy 50th episode to you, sir.
It's like you've said that to me for more than one time.
Don't let people
in
behind
happy
the
50th
curtain,
to you.
Raph.
They don't get to know all of the juicy details behind the back that we've been
you
trying to
went
do.
Back in time during this conversation.
No, now you're the one really guilty of it. No one's going to understand what you're talking about.
We had some service disruption, which was really, I think, a sign that says keep doing this podcast.
We're so close.
Because you guys had Chris Holdsworth on, and he was great. And then you had Carlos Condit, who, come on, always amazing. Then Julianna Pena. And then you wrapped it up with Bubba McDaniel. Life is telling us, amazing job. We just didn't want it all to be so natural. So, go fuck yourself.
We'll throw some obstacles
your way. End this show. Go fuck yourself and go fuck your internet connection.
It is quite the achievement. I think, I don't know. I think it's been a blast doing these 50 episodes.
I've had a ton of fun, and frankly, all the voicemails that we've gotten to listen to from these guys has really been just heartwarming.
True. And even when you really look into the shit talking, there's some warmth there.
Yeah. There's
some real sincere honesty when Travis tells us he is doing his from his toilet.
Yeah, we're too much of gentlemen to say he was taking his shit while talking.
Of course. One of us
we would never mention that, but obviously that's what we're referring to.
Sure.
So do you want to call him out? Let's do the whole list. Let's say thanks to Dave the Caveman Rickles. Always impressed when I can see he remembers how to use the phone. Basically, I'm always impressed.
It's a very, very good thing. It's so easy even a caveman could do it. Am I right?
Hey, yes,
boom.
You are. Also, Marshall from Artichoke Media, probably not wearing a gi when he sent this.
Also, nice thanks go out. Shout out to Josh Hill. Thank you so much, man. You really do exemplify the gentleman nickname you have.
Yes, very polite. Tim Kennedy, always good to see you're lucid enough to find a phone. Ring in.
Can we say how awesome it was that Tim Kennedy's was like one of the most polite and sincere?
I know. It was so down to earth.
We're both ready for him to unleash his wit upon us.
I thought it was just going to be gunfire in the background. And be like, you knew who it was, and that was it.
A nice shout out to Joe Schilling. Joe's one of the more funny, captivating, interesting guys that you get to talk to. And if you haven't seen the pose of him from his last fight at Glory, superimposed to the dancers from Riverdance. You need to find that picture immediately. It's magical.
That sounds magical. Marcus Koval, we always love when you can barely pronounce the podcast name and then drops his gym 3 times. Systems training out there on
Center.
Outside California Beach area.
Hawthorne,
Did I get
right?
That right?
Yeah.
That's right.
What a wonderful plug using our show. A nice shout out goes out to Joe Williams. Joe, so funny. Even though you tell some of the corniest jokes, there's always a place for that here because Kevin does those too. So congratulations and thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Always appreciated. Yeah, I like the jokes. It's good stuff. Bam Bam. Cody Bollinger calls in. We always appreciate the Bam Bam train. We had a great interview with him. He's so polite. He's so friendly.
He's very nice.
He's so friendly.
He's so friendly. Good for him. He's so friendly. Good
Speaking
for
of
him.
not friendly.
My arch nemesis.
Your arch nemesis.
My BJJ podcast arch nemesis, Paul Morin.
Very specifically.
Well, I really want to quantify my real life arch nemesis for somebody of a higher caliber.
Sure.
But, for my BJJ podcast one, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I like that you have different things. Yeah. I like
You have to have
different levels.
they're different tiers. You got to work your way through them.
But Paul from Open Mat Radio.
But if I were to say something classy to Paul, it would probably be, wow, what a great and nice message you could leave us with such great insight that you always provide on your stupid podcast, Open Mat Radio. Not on the Mat Radio like Kevin listens to.
Who would make that mistake? I'm a fan.
Several times.
Who would make it multiple times? Yeah, that was me. Jimmy Quinlan, we saw you. We saw that bright, shining face over there in the corner at the Tough finale. All of a sudden, he was like hanging over the cage. I was like, holy shit, it's Jimmy Quinlan.
I just want to let you guys know that from Boston, this is very important, Kevin.
Thanks,
Congratulations on your 50th.
He's got one of those voices that'll just lull you right to sleep. Hard to be angry with Jimmy
That's
Quinlan.
true. You should see me read to kids. It's hot. Okay.
Try operating heavy machinery while he does it. You just try.
It's true. Speaking of trying, Adam Sella.
Yeah.
Trying at the comedy so hard. Adam Sella, he's just had it so easy his whole life.
Yes.
The good looks, the blue eyes.
Never had to work for anything.
Oh, man, he's never had to work for a single thing except our friendship. Thank you, Adam Sella. Appreciate the call, man.
Travis from Fight Smart. I guess we say thank you for that. Is that, is that how that works?
I need to go walk and take a piss and be doing the thank you to him in that same way.
Yeah. We should get somebody to film that. That would be really nice.
That
would be really helpful. Ernesto Torres from Results Will Vary. Bringing it way back.
Yeah.
It was really good to hear from him again. We haven't checked in. We got to check back in with Ernesto. Find out how things are going.
He's always good people. He always shoots me up, and he's always kind of like, hey, how's everything going? Good? Yeah? How many podcasts listen you up to? You talking to this guy? You should do this. Yeah. And I'm like, yes, dude. He's really, really nice. Shout out to Zombie Mike Dubois. We've had many Mikes on this show.
Yeah.
But not one's named Zombie.
No.
He really owns that.
He really does. Speaking of Mikes, Mike Jasper.
Yeah.
Again, calling in. We were listening to these today, and it was sort of heartwarming. It was a good, hey, welcome to the holidays. And Mike Jasper never missing the chance to call in and let us know, and we really appreciate that.
Yep. And our final one goes...
No, we don't have to do the final one.
Yeah, we do. He's a good guy.
Fine.
Our final thanks goes to Mr. John Evans. John, you're too good. I don't really think you need to say anything else, right?
From BJJ Breakdown, that John Evans?
Yeah, BJJBreakdown.com. He's just too good, You name it, he's just too good. So let's just leave it at that.
And to the other people that have helped, over the guys over at BJJ and MMA Training Academy, No Concept out in Maryland, Andrew Correa from BJJ Finder for all the website help, and just
help.
Yes, help in general, explaining some things that were happening on a high level at the Jiu-Jitsu Expo, all of the, and speaking Portuguese, dynamite drop in there.
Very, very
big
important.
help. And to the lovely ones in our lives that have tolerated all of this podcast business. That's it from me, Raph, on the thank yous, except to you, sir, one final Old English time. Congrats on 50th.
Same to you, man. It's been a delight and a pleasure, and I look forward with some sad regrets to replacing you, but I feel we'll find a better replacement.
I understand. No,
for the next 50.
Okay.
But in all seriousness, Kevin, this is so much fun. You know, this is week in, week out. We get to extend our conversations that we have about MMA to all of the people who are listening, and the biggest thanks always goes out to them, because we get such great feedback from people, and it seems like every time we turn around, we get somebody telling us how much they like the podcast.
We don't get it, but we love it.
I mean, it's not my taste, but you know, it is especially nice that it's somebody else's, and that when people listen to it, they respond to stuff. They love people. They're very passionate about it. So to everybody who's been listening to us, thank you guys so much. Thank you to the good people over at Valley Martial Arts Center.
VMAC.
Yep, wouldn't be complete without that. You guys are always the best. I'll probably try and train there tonight if I can, just because, you know, why not? And just, I don't know. I think the final thank you is just to all the other guests and friends that we've made. Obviously, thank you to these people who called in, and to the rest of the people who didn't. You know, what the fuck were you doing? Like, for serious, these people took 2 seconds out of their time. Some people were sitting on the can. No, I'm just kidding. We couldn't be happier to do this, and we look forward to the many new guests and friends that we're going to get to make over the next 50 and beyond.
For all of us at Verbal Tap tonight, I'm Kevin. Thanks for listening.
Yup. Good night. And good 50.
Hold on, Raph, before we bring him on, I'm going to scream like a 12-year-old watching NSYNC. So just break for that, and then we'll bring him on, okay?